See if we get anybody in here. Turnings by Turner. What's up, man? Three people in the chat, one person chatting. Hey, Murray, what's going on? How you doing? Guess the holiday. I don't know. I just decided to hop on quick because we're hitting 1K on this channel, which is absolutely insane. Got like 500 subscribers on this channel this week, so figured I'd see how many people I drew into this live stream. Talk about some recoil because there's a lot of comments on my videos about recoil. You know what I mean? Turn down the notifications on this. Larry Kraft, how you doing, buddy? Larry Croft, sorry, not Kraft. Want to see if I drew in any new people. I guess I wasn't paying any attention to the recoil. Right? America. This light really. I got the Mac America. Tyler Pellegrin. Hey, nice shooting, Vince, brother. Thank you. Thank you, Tyler. Thank you for subscribing if you're a new subscriber. This is my second channel, so it's kind of it kind of took off on me. I didn't think it was going to go as fast as it did, but how you doing? Henry's upstairs. He didn't want to come down here. I think he's pooped. Had him running in the yard all day today. So it's been a really calm weekend. Not a lot going on, I gotta say. So I seen that I just hit 1,000 subscribers. It doesn't show it on my actual channel that you guys can see, but on my YouTube studio setting, it showed me that I just hit 1,000 subscribers on this channel. So, which is crazy. Like I said, yeah, 1,008 subscribers on the channel. Is it the only? No, my other channel, CP the Tool Addict. My other channel, I started this channel first, okay? But I just was uploading my USPSA videos, but I wasn't gaining any traction on it really. Nobody was really watching, but it was all right because I needed a place to store my videos, and that's really all I wanted to do with YouTube. So, and then I uploaded some more videos, and obviously added Fat Guy to the title, and by God, they went ripping off. So, Rick Ellis, how you doing? How you doing, buddy? Thank you, Larry. I appreciate those kind words. But I figured if I jumped on live tonight, maybe some of the people I seen. There's obviously a lot of rough comments on the. There's a lot of comments that are, obviously inciting or pretty. Some of them are messed up. Some of them are funny. Whatever. I got a sense of humor. You guys know that. Yeah, Tyler, it's mostly tool related. I'm a mechanic. I'm pretty much a blue collar guy. I've been driving trucks, working on cars. I got into shooting USPSA 10 years ago when actually the whole reason I got into shooting was when guns were starting to be, how do you say it? When it started to be that they were taken away. And I grew up on the farm, so I always had a shotgun, had a 30-30, stuff like that. But then I started going to the range. My first firearm that I bought was a Springfield 40 cal, was my first handgun. Yeah, that was my first. I mostly had rifles before, and then I decided to get in, and I decided I was going to the range, and I hated standing there and shooting. So I just wanted to do something different. So I got into competitive shooting, and we found some outlaw matches. And I'm not the greatest shooter in the world, and nor am I claiming to be the greatest shooter in the world as far as competitive wise. But I guess, and after 10 years of doing this, I feel confident that I do pretty well for what I do. I've obviously invested a lot of money in doing it, um, via gear and whatnot. I mean, I have several holsters and rigs. You see over here, these are some of my rigs, not all of them. And let's see, give you a little. I think this is legal on YouTube for me to do. See if I can do this. Camera. Let me figure out how to do this real quick here. Let's see here. Settings, camera. All right, so obviously you can see it's kind of messy, but that's how it gets. But this is pretty much my loading bench setup. I have a Dillon 650. I have a couple of tumblers, and then all of my brass. Just tons of stuff going on here. It's a little bit out of sorts right now because I kind of fly through doing some stuff, and I have bullets, cases of ammo, cases of primers, all that stuff. This is actually my toolbox for down here. But yeah, this is the rig: bullet feeder, case feeder, powder, primer, and I always keep my info and stuff up there on each one of them. But I have a lot of powder feeds and whatnot. And then I have roughly, that's all my brass over there. There's about 30,000 pieces of brass. And then all my primers are all in this tote in here. And I have roughly about 50,000 primers. And then I have bullets, just loose bullets. I am sponsored by S&S Casting. So, yeah, that's my setup down here. Switch back to camera. So 10 years of time has allotted me this setup. And that's how I keep things going. Yeah, USPSA is definitely something I want to get. I work full-time at a gun range, and I want to get into competition shooting. Agree static shooting isn't fun. Exactly. That's exactly how I landed into where I was at, was because I wanted to get into that. And yeah, Prep Brothers Homestead, I got lots of primers. Competition shooting was a way for me to try, not only this, you obviously know that I'm a bigger dude, and I wanted to do something that was more active and spend a little bit more time, outside doing something more. I'm a pretty active dude. I don't like to sit around, and even though I'm a bigger guy, I just wanted to show that you don't, just because you're a bigger person doesn't mean that you have to not shoot. I have a buddy named Tony Salas. He's in the Chicago area, and he's a big dude too. And he's an amazing shooter, way better than I am even. And he's a big guy, and it's just not, size isn't always the matter. You can really push yourself and work hard and do a lot of things you want. So I want to inspire people and show them. And not only that, I want to take away a lot of USPSA. And there's going to be a lot of guys that are going to be not happy with what I say, but a lot of people in USPSA have big egos, and they drive away a lot of just normal shooters. And my goal is to bring more people that want to have fun and just shoot, and not feel like they're getting, not feel like they're stepping into a place where they're outclassed. I want them to feel comfortable. So I try to get a lot of new shooters to start shooting with me. That way they don't feel so uncomfortable, like they feel more on my level. They feel more comfortable because I'm just not, I'm not your typical guy that has like a, you know, crazy rig, and you know, I'm a decent shooter, but I'm not intimidating, I guess is what I'm looking for, the word. And I'm not an instructor, not trying to be an instructor, not taking away. There's a lot of great instructors. I've had obviously training by Ben Stoger, Frank Proctor, stuff like that. My buddies had done it with Pat McNamara, which I wish I would have done. Combat training is not really my thing though, because I'm more geared towards competition, and really I try not to think about anything self-defense. For the simple fact is I don't ever want to have to defend myself, which I think that if I had to, I'd be completely capable. But the bigger thing is I'm more comfortable behind the trigger is all. So I only have one belt. Yes, Tyler, only having one belt doesn't cripple you. That's all I want people to do is have fun. Primers, man, yeah. Mark Schumacher, how's it going, buddy? Prep Brothers Homestead, welcome. Diabolical. I'm thinking about getting a Smith & Wesson M&P 9 2.0 for concealed carry. I already have my permit. What are your thoughts on that for me? I am new to handguns and never carried one. Larry, I will tell you this, and I think I've only heard one other guy say it to a lot of people like this. Most handguns, as long as you're sticking, now I'm a proprietary person that's sticking with the big four, is what I call it: Springfield, Glock, Smith & Wesson, and what am I missing? Ruger. I'm a big proprietor sticking with those brands because they're pretty solid platforms and they usually are pretty reliable working. The one thing that I always have a hard time with people is that when you talk about getting a firearm, a lot of people are like, should I get this because this guy's got it? I think the big thing, if you notice, a lot of my firearms have grip tape on them. No matter what I get for a firearm, I always make the firearm fit my hand. So, you know, if you can get a chance to go to a gun range and rent a gun or borrow somebody's to shoot, that's always a good start. But I think at the end of the day, you can't be scared to modify a firearm to fit your hand, which means if it's a 1911 style, you get different grips. Or if it's a polymer style, you're willing to do some stippling, possibly grip tape if you don't want to trim anything off of it. There's a lot of things that I think that come into factor because nothing I get, I customize everything now. So I make everything fit my hand. Is the Gen 4 recoil on the Glock 23 less than the Gen 3? I don't. Angry Parks, I don't think you're going to notice any recoil difference via the generations. Despite what they say, it's going to be so minuscule that I don't think a normal person or an average person is going to notice the difference. In fact, I do a lot of chronographing ammo, and in order for me to notice recoil difference, it usually has to be either a different powder, which if you use different powders, you have to notice. That's where you notice your biggest recoil differences. You know, Tight Group is a little bit more snappy, and Vita Viore is a little bit more, it's more poppy. It's hard to explain, and it's 10 feet per second minimum on recoil differences. So ammo is your biggest spot where you're going to get recoil differences. And then adding weights. A lot of guys add weights. You know, if you're adding a flashlight to your firearm in the front end, that's going to help with recoil. But honestly, me personally, I'm all about the grip strength. 100% about grip strength. I'm 100% about. A lot of people say on, a lot of people, and I can't show on live streams. You can't show. It's part of LubeTube's deal. But when I grip a gun, it's all about getting high in it, like getting high up in the beaver tail. Wished I had I thought I had like an old stock around here for a Glock. But getting high up in that beaver tail when you grip it, like especially when I draw, getting high in that beaver tail and then coming around, getting as high on that thing as possible, and really gripping it. Recoil is where it's at. Like I said, I'm no expert. I'm just doing this for fun, and I want to help a few people out along the way. This is eventually what we're going to do with this a little bit more is I'm going to take you along with my training, what I do for drills. Actually, all my drills and stuff are all either online or in books. Either places like Frank Proctor or Ben Stoger. I do all basic bill drills, stuff like that. Accelerator. A lot of the drills I do are just simple drills, and I do as many frugal ammo drills, but I do a ton of dry firing. In fact, I do all my dry firing down here in the basement with blank cardboard targets and like. In fact, you can get these reduced. These are reduced size targets. So the A zones are about the size of your hand. The A zones are, and the C zones here are a little bit bigger, but these are reduced size targets. They're great for if you've got a short range, and let's say you want to practice shooting at 25 yards, but you only have a 15-yard range. This would be a great range or target because you can spend a lot of time focusing on cleaning up. Your A zone is right here. Obviously, it's hard to tell with the stickers, but you can see the outline. The A zone is very small. It's about the size of my hand. And they're cheap and reusable. And a lot of times what I do is I flip them over on the backside when I'm done with them. And then I'll color them out black, and then I'll paste another target over the top of them, and then cut the A zone out and use that as another target. There's a lot of ways to save money. A lot of ways to save money if you want to become a better shooter, and just practicing frugally as much as it's the easiest way for me to put it. Hey, Blake, how's it going? Nice. Good to hear. Yeah, so that's pretty much my take on when people ask me about recoil or they talk about recoil. I notice a lot of comments, people talking about size and recoil. And it's just, there's so many small shooters out there. In fact, Tim Herron is a small shooter, smaller statured shooter. And he's got great recoil control. How's your wife going? I don't have a wife, Bruno Alameda. I'm not married. Maybe you meant to say, how's your life going? But yeah. Hey, Zach Price, welcome to it. Yeah, Mark, ammo, and I'll tell you what, it is a huge concern. Yeah, Bruno, my life's going good. Thank you for that. No, it's all good, Bruno. Hold on a second here. I got to get changed over. Let's see here. I'll get right back to your guys' questions here in a second. Sorry about that. I got to change over here. I wasn't able to take care of the people that I needed to. All right. So, yeah. A lot of guys worried. Mark Schumacher brings up a very good point. A lot of guys worried about ammo, loading supplies for obvious reasons. I think that it's very hard to predict the future. And I've been through this ammo crisis / whatnot before. The one thing I will say is that the biggest thing to worry about, if you are a avid loader, then you probably should be concerned about getting primers. I think if anything was going to happen, this is just my opinion, and this is I don't do conspiracy theories. I don't do all that crap on here. I only tell it how I feel like it is. And my biggest concern would be is that the EPA would stop making primer, or would shut down primers being made, because EPA has a pretty good foothold on them. They're corrosive, and they could, they're probably the hardest component really over gunpowder. They're the most highly controlled. They're regulated very well. Primers are definitely the biggest problem. Lead is, there's so many different lead makers out there, or bullet casters, I should say, Blue Bullets, S&S. There's a ton of them. There's a ton. You can buy lead from a lot of people. But lead is, and of course, it's getting harder to find because that's a problem too. But that's a whole nother story. And I don't know a ton about that, but primers, I do know. I have a CDL, so I deal with federally I've dealt with transportation issues before, and I know that primers are one of the most hardest things when it comes to transportation and shipping to deal with. Powder's the second most, but like you can get lead and you can get cases. So the best thing for you to do is stock up on as many primers if you're a loader. If you're wanting to get into loading, I would recommend finding primers and worry about getting those first, because once you have the primers, I feel like that's kind of the leg into getting into where you need to be. I do a ton of dry fire, getting ready for GSF match indoor June 13th. Come close to 500, but have not done it yet. Wow. Glock GSF matches are really, really nice. I'll tell you what, even if you're not a fan of Glocks, you should shoot a GSF match, and somebody like Larry or somebody of the guys that are getting into that stuff, GSF matches are really good to get you started into competition because they have a little bit of some competition scoring, but they also are very generous on giving away prizes. Glock is one of the best companies out there that gives back a lot. And not only that, you get free guns. That's what's really cool about Glock. They're not a sponsor, but they're definitely, I definitely highly recommend people that go that want to get into shooting, find a GSSF match, get registered, become a GSF member. It is a little bit pricey to get fired into one of those matches, but usually one match, maybe two, they pay back. I know lots of guys that have won 3 or 4 guns from those matches, and it's really very. If you're a good shot just being in a range without movement, if you're a good shot with just standing still and you can be consistent, GSF matches are a good game for you. What's up? We got Prep Brothers, Homestead, Primers are unicorns. Everyday Fleet Tech, how you doing, buddy? I love Glock, and then again, I'm a sucker for local companies, right? Hey, Antonio, Claude, Michael, how's it going, buddy? Steven Huddock, how you doing? I'm surprised. I got 20 people in the chat already. I'm really stoked. CP, let me understand what you said. Weight on the front, like light, reduces recoil, firm high grip, helps. What is it about the ammo that affects the recoil? I missed. Okay. So I'll kind of give you a quick breakdown on this. Okay. So the number one thing about recoil management when you're shooting a pistol is that above anything, I don't care. The one thing that I learned to focus on right away was grip strength. Okay. Keeping a high grip into that beaver tail, getting that firearm just, tight up against your hand. And you got to know that if you're going to have beaver tail bite, some guys, that's a whole nother deal, but getting that high grip, coming into that gun, it's really hard to show on live. I'll have to show it. But getting your hand in there, getting getting it locked in there, and getting it just kind of lined up with your hand, but getting it locked in there. Obviously, this is your trigger finger. If you guys notice, this is how much I shoot. See the white spot on my finger? That's how much I shoot. Is that when I shoot, that's the callus on my finger. Yeah, I did, and I got one on this hand too from hanging underneath. But so then when you come underneath, this is right here where the trigger guard rides on my finger all the time. When you come around the backside, getting that grip on there, get it in there, locked in there nice and tight, and holding it. And basically you want to not push down on it, but you don't want it to, you're trying to keep that gun perfectly still. So when it shoots and it wants to lift like that, what you're wanting to do is you're basically holding it steady. So no matter what you do, that thing, if you looked at my video, if you watched my video, you'll notice that the slide basically comes straight back and forward and the gun doesn't move. And that's what you want. Now, the ammo and all that stuff is kind of like, you know, I mean, people talk about making powder puff loads and stuff like that. I shoot 147 grain with 3.1 grains of tight group. And basically I'm shooting about 136, 140 power factor. Most factory ammo, 115 grain. I will say the 147 grains are a little bit, so a heavier bullet, there's another, I guess if you want to talk about easy way to help with recoil, buying ammo with a heavier bullet will definitely make felt recoil a little bit lighter. In fact, 124 grain bullets I highly recommend for a lot of new shooters, because 115 grains are usually snappy when you're using 9mm. And I'll show you some examples. I have some odd stuff. So I use 200 grain semi-wad cutters instead of 230 grain ball ammo. Some people would argue that this would be a heavier recoil. And the reason why I use this is because it's, to me, I like this style for my 45. And you ask, why wouldn't you use that for your, you know, which I use a flat point style also. This is kind of a cone style for my 9mm. But then I also use these, which are 147 grains, are just a different style. My 40 cal, this is some factory ammo 40 cal, Syntec ammo. Federal had sent me some of this stuff last year, so I have 205 grain. This helps recoil. This is a 205 grain 40 cal, so if you're shooting a 40 cal, the heavier bullet, technically you'll have less felt recoil. This is 165 grain. 165 grain. This is a little bit snappier bullet. Some people like the snappier bullets because they get faster reciprocation of the slide. Some people like heavier bullets because it's less felt recoil. Me personally, I shoot 180 grain semi-wad cutter 40 cals, which is an odd duck. Really it is, but I love them. They make very good holes in paper, which and I'll be honest with you, the reason why I do it is for competition. Whenever I like using semi-wad cutters, because more times than not in competition, that semi-wad cutter distinguishes a hole much better than a round nose. Plus, I just like these semi-wad cutters. I call them 50 cals. They make huge holes when you're shooting. So it's kind of an odd deal, but for a guy that's going out and he can only buy factory ammo, you want to look for a heavier bullet, in my opinion. And 124, 135 grain, 9mm. You can find 147. Federal is by far my favorite ammo. Not going to lie to you. They're not a sponsor, but the Syntec ammo is probably the best stuff on the planet, in my opinion, for average plinking, and you have a variety. Obviously, you can get it 40 cals, 160, but it comes in all the ammo comes in a variety of styles. And they're not a sponsor, and I'm not putting links in the description because that's another thing YouTube came up with lately too. But I'm not trying to sell products, so all that stuff. Let's see here. It's 9. Yeah, definitely can tell a difference. Absolutely. Let's see here. ACM. Blake, welcome back. I usually put gas pedals on my Glocks. Works fantastic. Yeah, gas pedals are another way to help do that. 147 grain subsonic. Stephen Hoddick, I've got some frame weights on my G34. I think helps. Yeah, a lot of guys like the frame weights, and they're actually legal in USPSA now, which is kind of cool. Stephen Doolittle, how you doing? Good day, sir. Garrett Dozer, can you use a blue training gun for visual and live feeds? I will look into that, Garrett. I will definitely do that. But if not, I'm going to be making some videos anyways that will show my techniques. And guys, keep in mind, there's a lot of great shooters in the world. I'm just showing it from a guy it's an average dude. Like this channel is all dedicated to bringing in new shooters into competition shooting or just learning things that I absolutely am 100% positive on. I've done a lot of chronos at matches. I've shot competitively for 10 years now. I've actually had, multiple things that I've dealt with. I'm not an expert, but I am a pro. I am a pro. I'm not an expert, but I am a pro. An expert would be a guy a guy that's been doing it for 20 years, in my opinion. But I've been doing it for 10 years, and I don't want to overstep what I can, because I'm not a great instructor. I don't go around. I could take people out in the range one at a time, but I'm not somebody that would go out and like train a class. But I would definitely help somebody get into USPSA shooting, help them find a club match, help them get out there. I offer gear. See, the thing that I do here is it's me and my buddies that shoot matches. We offer gear to any new shooter to come out and shoot a match and try to get them into it. And that's the main focus of what we do, is just trying to help people. And if they don't like it, they don't like it, and they don't come back. But if that's why I have all these extra rigs, is so that I can say, hey man, I have a Springfield XDM, and it's just it's actually the gun that I won. I won a whole year's. I won all my trophies 1 year with an XDM, plain Jane. All I did was a trigger job on it, but everything else is bone stock. No, nothing traded over. I literally have $575 in the whole packet. Well, take that back. I have a little more. If you add the rig and everything, probably about $750 total in a competition gun. And not only that, it's literally one of the cheapest investments I've made into shooting. Semi woodcutters are very nice. They make massive holes. Yes. Absolutely, Antonio. I love them. Hey, Chef Shade Tree. I'm so used to using 147 grain. Love how smooth and recoil. Yeah, it is great stuff. My first competition was with a G27 factory 100 grain. I was hurting afterwards. Yeah, that's the 180 grain stuff is. Could you imagine? The weird part about it is we're talking about 180 grain, but like, I've shot this 165, and it's really hard for me now that I've been shooting so much to actually have nothing bothers me. I could shoot with any ammo because I've shot a lot of ammo, but can you imagine 165 grains? 165. A lot of guys shoot these in competition. They like them because they're faster. And what I mean by faster is that the recoil is so fast, the slides action's fast, and it gets the sights back in picture quick. So there's two ways you can go about it. And there's a lot of different ways guys like shooting. So it's all comes up to preference at the end of the day, guys. This isn't me trying to force you one way or another. If you like shooting 147 grains, that's what I prefer. But maybe you prefer shooting 115. Perhaps a lot of guys like shooting 124. A lot of guys like to shoot 135. You have to find what works for you. And the only way to do that is to get out and shoot and actually practice. And that's 100% the biggest thing out of all this. No matter what anybody tells you, you have to be willing to go out and maybe even if you don't have a lot of money to spend on ammo, you dry fire. Nothing in the world is going to get you closer to having a better ability to be a better shooter than dry firing. Guys, the myth of people thinking that you can't dry fire your firearms is baloney. Unless it's a 22, do not dry fire 22. But if you're dry firing your 9mm Glock, I've only known one guy that's cracked a breech face, and that was after 5 years of dry firing. And if you don't know what a breech face is basically the part where the firing pin comes through, and basically what it cracked was from the firing pin going through the hole so much. So Purple Rocket, no, I absolutely have no interest in talking about politics. First of all, I'm terrible with them because I don't keep up on them because I literally don't have enough time. And second of all, I believe honestly that there's so many different sides to politics that I think that it's goofy. I don't believe I'm not 100% a Republican. Okay, I'm more of an independent, and I'm not a Democrat. but I don't have anything against Democrats because I know good Democrats. I live in a Republican state here in Iowa. We voted Republican, and I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm only going to go over this a little bit because I don't like it when people get offended. I don't like it when people get offended when they talk about what their political stance is or anything like that. I believe that there's liberals, Democrats, Republicans, and far right conservatives. There's 4 different groups in the politic parties. So keep that in mind. That's where I stand on that. If you have something that's you can add to the conversation without being too political. But most of the time it starts fights and it hurts feelings. And I'm fat and shooting already, and that already hurts feelings. And not only that, I'm a joker. You know what I mean? Like I'm a smart ass, and I like to do my thing, and that hurts feelings too. So I can't handle any more. I can't handle any more of that stuff. Dry firing only hurts rimfire, and old revolvers with firing pins on. Yep, exactly. There you go. Yeah, if you have a revolver with a firing pin on the hammer, that's definitely not a good thing. But Purple Rocket, trust me, I appreciate a few topics I might get into a little bit. But man, it's so sketchy on YouTube. I'd rather just have fun. Haven't we all had to go through enough crap already? Like, there's a lot of things I didn't like about what some people said this weekend. Yeah, Larry, well, that's just the other thing is, might be because I'm just so fat, Larry. You never know. But anyways, like the whole thing is I want to help people out. I want people to come into this, and I want them to have fun. That's the main thing is I think if we get past all the other crap and we're all more focused on having fun, the rest of that stuff will go behind us. Yeah, exactly. Mark Schumacher, exactly. We don't need Republicans or Democrats. We need common law and common sense. Purple Rocket, Cam Edwards talks about that. Most training involves dry fire and police military training. Well, yeah, dry firing is huge. Managed to score 3 boxes of 22 long rifle at $4 a box, dude. That's like you got gold right there, Everyday Fleet Tech. And if a lot of you guys don't know these guys that are in here in the chat, this channel is going to be different as far as it comes to my my Blue Wrench guys here. And my Blue Wrench guys are going to be the only guys that are going to be my Blue Wrench guys ever on the chat here. There's going to be a couple of them, and that's going to be where we're going to be at for now. We're not going to add a bunch of Blue Wrenches like on my other channel because this one, and I need you guys that are Blue Wrenches on my channel, please help me out. Make sure that if there's any trolls or whatnot that comes in, that we handle that. That's a great deal. Yeah, absolutely. So I just wanted to let that be known. I can't believe I hit 1,000 on this channel. That's what's crazy. In a week, I literally got 600 subscribers in a week. So it blows my mind. See here. See what we got up to. Little short on watch time hours. Still got a few watch time hours to get, but we're right there with subscriber count, which this channel's 7 years old. It was just a fun way to do it. Thank you, AC. I figured you would, ACM. So, yes, Chef Shade Tree. I shoot some 2-gun stuff. I really do like 2-gun. I'm not as much of a rifle shooter, though. We don't have as many rifle competitions. I would like to get into some. Not gonna lie to you, they do interest me. So yeah, rifles are. I have plenty of rifles. Trust me. I have ARs. I have 308s. And I'm not a terrible shot, but I don't know where I would stand in the. I know there's a lot of really good rifle shooters. Rifle shooting is precision rifle shooting. Let's just go there. Precision rifle shooting is very, very, very. That's some legit stuff. Like I don't do windage. Like if you're talking about some of those matches at Camp Pendleton or Fort Bragg and stuff like that, Colorado out there, those guys are some serious. Like they do windage, all that stuff. That's not my game at all. I'm not very good. You're popular, CP. The other channel took care of that. Yeah, I got a lot of new subscribers to this channel, Mark, which I was surprised. Most of the people that are new to this channel are not from my other channel. All the list of people that were coming in, I've never seen these people that were coming in. I'm pretty happy about it. I'm seeing panic buying, calming down. Hopefully ammo will be coming. But yeah. I know some people from Federal Ammo in Minnesota. And the biggest thing is the people in Federal in Minnesota at Federal Ammo, they basically talk as if the only reason they're behind is because the demand went up. The panic buying is definitely the problem. People are going out panic buying ammo, and that definitely causes more issues. So we definitely don't like to. That's why I try to say everybody's got to like lay low. Like going out and panic buying ammo is no bueno. No bueno. Thank you, Blake. That's all I'm trying to do. Diabolical. I think we got you in here. Yeah, you're good. Diabolical's my boy. John's been around for a while. Rifle is my jam. Exactly. Yeah. Some guys definitely. I'd like to do more rifle. We got to bring in more subscribers. Yeah. Yeah, we will. Once I get to 1,000, I'm not really too worried about. All I care about is getting to 1,000 so I can do live streams on YouTube. That's pretty much my main goal. And then be able to do some other stuff. But really my main goal here is just to get this channel going. So I don't know that it's actually going to ever be anything, because with YouTube demonetizing a bunch of Firearms Pro 2A channels, who knows how long this is going to be around. My main focus of this channel was just to upload my shooting videos. If you guys haven't watched and you're new and you're watching along and you're not talking in the chat, don't be scared to go through and scroll through my playlist and check out some of the other videos. You'll see that I'm not the best shooter. You can see where I started. This channel shows my starting, or my shooting career starting from the beginning. Me messing around on the range, me doing my first firearm was an STI Trojan. And if you don't know what those are pretty sloppy 45 caliber. Man, I had a lot of problems with it. It was a 1911. I started with a 1911. Biggest mistake of my life. Guys, I love a 1911, but it's not the place to go for a new shooter. A lot of stuff. 270. Oh, yeah. Velocity, big game. Heck yeah. Great hunting stuff. You're dead right. My dad was an avid rifle shooter. I went to a lot of matches with him when I was a kid. Yeah, they're fun. They're nice. They're fun. No doubt about it. Hold on here a second. Trying to catch up. Right now, I'm only 1K yards. Hopefully, COVID chills and I can get my 1 mile. Wow. That would be amazing. 270 rounds are obsolete here. Where did you get your shooting belts from? I'm a big guy too. Great question, Zach. Thank you for asking, Zach. So there's a couple places you can buy these shooting belts. One is CR Speed. I don't recommend it though. Midway used to carry them, but Competition Specialties is the place where I get most of my shooting belts from. And these are my favorite by far. I've had these going on, some of them 4 or 5 years now, and they're the best. The CR Speeds fell apart, and I actually had to have them re-stitched with Velcro. So these are like backup belts. But my favorites are these. And then I had these. These were Midway shooting belts. Midway used to sell these, and they are a little bit cheaper. They're about $20 a belt. But the ones from Competition Specialties are very reasonable also. Especially for a big guy. And obviously you can see this one's got a lot. I buy a lot of stuff in Ben Stoker Pro Shop. This is my most used belt. And people talk about equipment that gets used. This equipment got used and abused. These things are the mag pulls on these. How many mags I've put and pulled out of these pouches? This rig alone has fired almost 250,000 rounds, if you can believe that. The holster's new. I will say the holster doesn't have as much wear on it. I bought this whole holster new because I broke my other one off. I don't think it's here. I think it's upstairs, maybe. That's my 1911 holster. Yeah. This is my 40 cal holster. But yeah, these mag pouches have been put through the ringer. But a competition setup like this, I use Boss holster hangers. I always keep these little things on here for ear protection. The funny thing is I keep these on here for ear protection, but my go-to ear protection, it's funny because I just got these, but Ear Pro 3M. This is why I'm a big advocate of 3M. These are called the 3M Pelletors. And these are my Ear Pros in this little tactical case. It's waterproof. It's also got a USB charger. These things are like $350 for these, but they've got a little green light. They're in ear, and if you're a rifle shooter, Everyday Fleet Tech, you could probably appreciate this. If you're a rifle shooter, empty stock. If you're a rifle shooter, you notice that cheek weld doesn't interfere with your ears with these. So it's a little pro tip there for you guys that are into wanting to find something. If you don't like your shooting rifle, I highly recommend these ones. And then I think Walker sells them too. But these are nice. They do stick out, kind of look like a little hearing aid or something like that. But definitely my go-to for ears. I just happen to have these on me. They put batteries in them. You put batteries in there. The whole case is contained, but if you don't have batteries, you can still charge it on the USB side through this little port, but it's all waterproof. That's the best part about it. This is a waterproof case, so if you're out in the range and it starts raining, lock her down. Let's see here. Don't lie, CP. Favorite handgun is a High Point. Yeah. I'm here listening and learning. Blake, I'm seeing 270 is a popular round. Lehigh Hansen. Hey, could you try to pronounce my name? Leland Hansen. Leland Hansen. I said Lehigh. Leland Hansen. I'm guessing that's right. Nice. Yeah, exactly. That would be nice. Don't buy. You will do it soon. You are very loved by tons of people, my brother. Thank you, Rick Ellis. I appreciate that. Dude, my first IDP hit was a Trojan. Man, that thing is rickety. Let me tell you, man, I did nothing but fight that thing. I had the barrel lug pin kept walking out on it. Even I tried to peen that damn thing. Some of them are good, some of them are bad, but that was like one of STI's like lemon guns. Glock 23. I need more belts also. Hey, Jack Dakai, how's it going? What's going on under that hat? We got the mullet. Rocking the mullet. America. My buddy Robert from Louisiana sent me this Mac hat, and I've been wearing it all weekend as a kind of my little deal to Memorial for Memorial Day weekend. Red, white, and blue. People have been asking. She's got a tall. I really feel like a trucker wearing this. This is a true trucker's hat right here. I mean, look at that. Look at that point right there, man. Marine hat, even. The Marine guys love these hats like this, don't they? Because they do their little thing with them. Damn, it's already been an hour. Yeah. I've never had any problem. They are pretty Gand I don't even know how to say your name, but you're not wrong. They are very they're hard. If you're indoors, they're not very good for indoors. There's some downsides to them. Where earmuffs, the Howard Lights are pretty much hard to beat when it comes to getting. But you're not wrong on that. I guess I should thank you for pointing that out. That's the best thing I can put out for that. No, they do not work as headphones. These are strictly 100%. They're basically powered in-ear devices that amplify the sound. So when I put this in, let's just put it to you this way. You could whisper at the other end of my basement, which is my basement's standard through it ranch basement. What is that? 60-foot long. You could probably whisper like, "Hey, Chad." You could probably talk like that, and I could hear you because it amplifies the sound, but it also cuts out at 23 decibel. And outdoors, I feel like they do pretty good, but indoors, and just like he said with the 300, yeah, when you get up to that higher stuff. But the more expensive ones are $1,200. Yeah, I just don't like earmuffs. That's my problem. When it gets hot outside, I do have a problem with them sweating, and my earmuffs are definitely terrible. Hey, thank you, Marvin, Jim. Appreciate it. Good evening, Tools and Metals. Last weekend, I had a mild baffle strike with my Sandman K-Can. The threads on my X95 are perfectly concentric. Huh. Ha! That's pretty good considering the fact that I can't talk. Man, that's crazy. Last weekend, I had a mild baffle strike with my Sandman K-Can. The threads on my X95 are perfectly concentric. Wow. Glad nothing happened. Yeah, that's definitely something like that. Yeah, no, I have not heard of a 22 Cheetah, 22 Hornets, 22 long rifles, a lot of 22. I've never heard of a 22 Cheetah. Wildcat. Thank you, Larry Croft. Very similar to a Wildcat, Blake. Okay. Thank you. I wished I could say your name, Gagan Hill, whatever. But yeah, dude, I appreciate that, man. Because like I said, I forget stuff when I'm talking. You know, I mean, like I'm not trying to promote any of this. I'm just the good and the bad about it is like earmuffs. Good earmuffs, like I love my Howard Lights, and even those are kind of light. Be honest with you, even those I have to put earplugs in with those on the range. Actually, I use these inside of my Howard Lights when I'm on the indoor range. So, people, that's something that's widely overlooked. Good earmuffs, and I think what is it? Ear Pro 1000 or whatever it is. I can't remember what it is. Those big fat muffs are really the ones that are really they do a good job. But I'll tell you what, if you're a mechanic like I am, and you're getting into that stuff, and you're wanting to save your ears, good earmuffs or ear protection is something that you want to really look into when you're getting into shooting. A lot of people I see overlook that. And eye protection too is obviously a good one, but ear pro is really, really, really commonly overlooked. Something that's worth spending the money on. Yeah, you definitely don't want to use headphones when you're shooting due to they aren't made for blocking sound. Yeah, they do. They do get uncomfortable, but these do have a drawback where they are a little bit light. When you're indoors, the echo is what kills them. That's where you lose. That's where these things, and the 300 Win Mag, when you're shooting a 300 Win Mag because it's so loud, or 50 cal. Even I've noticed I've shot a 50 cal with these too. Shooting a 50 cal, man, it just, the compression and whatnot, I've almost had these things blow out of my ears. Oh, Tools and Metals, Darian Robinson. How you doing, Darian? Good Lord, I was like, man, what the heck is that all about? Tools and Metals. Congratulations. The Cheetah is a special build, not just normal off the shelf. Right on. Uses 308 cases with a 22 shell or something, huh? Cool. Hey, thank you, Everyday Fleet Tech. I think I'm about ready to wrap it up here too in a little bit. Walker silencers, the muff make me way too hot. Yeah. My dad built one and it will pick up off the ground, pick off groundhogs and can hit them between the eyes at 400 yards. That's sweet. A lot of those guys in South Dakota love that groundhog hunting. My buddy does a lot of that. Well, it was a party. Just wanted to do a quick hour stream and say thanks to all the new subscribers. There's a lot of guys that were watching this stream prior to me actually making it, and a lot of people, a lot of old subscribers, like a lot of you guys that are in here know me from my other channel, and I truthfully appreciate the new faces in here, new friends that I'm meeting on here, and eventually we're gonna do some more stuff. I mean, I am a busy cat. I'm not gonna lie to you, so don't be surprised. I'll try to do some streams, maybe Monday nights or whatnot, for the old pew pew stuff. But I want to answer questions that are in my. I'm going to answer questions from the videos. I mean, 250,000 views on one video, and I think we're up to 150,000 on the other. Absolutely blows my mind. I mean, I know, I want to say once again, I am not the best shooter in the world. I know a lot of good shooters. Christian Saylor is the world champion right now, or the national USPSA champion, and that dude's legit. I've shot matches with him. He's a great guy. My buddy Craig Tappy is our local club GM, and the guy is phenomenal. He's a top 25 shooter in the U.S. easily. He screams everybody around here. There's a lot to being a competition shooter and being really good, and obviously I'm not the best, but the one thing that I think that I have above a lot of people is my ability to help people that haven't shot, or to get over the fear of coming into shooting a match, or just having fun shooting. That's basically all it is. And I want to bring a different perspective. There's a lot of stuff on the internet, a lot of bad juju, a lot of negativity towards shooting. There's a lot of egos. And guys, the egos have got to go. They've got to stop. We've got to be better people in this world. And that's all there is to it, man. It's just so negative. And I that's why I want to take that, take that all out of this. Take that all out of this, man. I want to take that all out of this. I want to take the negativity out. I want to take the, I want to level the playing field. We're all people. We can all have fun, all chat, learn things. I mean, that's all there is to it to me. I know it sounds like a bit of a goody two shoes, even though I'm not a goody two shoes. I'm kind of I can be a jerk at times. And if you look through some of the comments, you'll even see some of the things I said. There's some people that go too far. They talk a little bit too much, and they jabber a little bit too much. But on this channel, we're not going to hold back on those people. We're either going to can them, or we're going to let them have it. I promise you that. You're going to see a little bit of more CP uncut. at the best part. But you know, on the least on the low end of it is that I really want to combine. I really want to get more people into shooting. I want them to find out things that they can do it like I do. I don't spend a ton of money, but you can buy a belt for these are reasonably priced belts at competition specialties. You can get a rig set up, buy a cheap firearm, go out and shoot a little bit. Even if you just want to go out and practice on the range or just have something to get better. It's not that hard, guys. And you shouldn't feel intimidated because you may not be the best shot or you may not have the best equipment. You shouldn't feel intimidated to do that. You should be wanting. I think shooting is a great outlet for stress relief. I think it's a great outlet to have fun and meet new people. But there's a lot of egos out there in the shooting world, and I don't like that. Don't like that at all. Not my thing. So, you know, that's pretty much the long and short of it for me, guys. So be ready to always have your questions to ask me, and I'll definitely answer them at the best of my ability. And you guys that are, you know, good, like that bring in positive comments, man, that's really awesome. Some of you guys that brought in your comments tonight, I was really impressed with that. Some of you guys that I haven't met before, Gagan Hilton, I don't Gagan Hillen. Hopefully that I got that. And then Leland Hansen, thank you for joining. Marvin, Jim, Jackie Dekai. Just looking through here. I know all of you other guys, I know who you are, and I see you on my other stream. So don't think I'm Zach Price. Thank you for coming in tonight. Really looking forward to meeting a lot more new people on my live stream. So you guys that have been around for a while, please don't be offended if I don't talk as much to you, because I really want to get to know some new guys too, give them a chance to, I've been working with some of you guys on my live streams. I have them on every Friday night on my tools channel, or my tool channel every Friday night. And I'm really looking forward to getting to meeting some of you new guys. Hopefully, if some of you guys are in the area and you want to shoot some matches and you're in around the Iowa area, or you're passing through, let me know. Tuesday nights we have matches at my local range here, and it'd be awesome to take you along with me. Even if you don't want to shoot and you want to come check it out, be more than happy to drag you along with me and let you see some stuff. So Preppin' Brothers Homestead, I haven't seen you before. Bruno Almeida, thank you for stopping by too. Angry Parks, all you guys that stopped on. Tyler Pellegrin, I'm looking through the chat here. I don't want to leave any of you new guys out. I appreciate you guys coming by. So, with that, yeah, definitely a ton of egos for sure. I have no problem. Look at me. I'm a big dude. Okay. So I don't have the ego. I can hold my own. I can hold my own in shooting, and that's about where it lands to. And I get lucky on a few stages and have some pretty good runs. Am I consistent? No, I'm not consistent. It's one thing that I consistently working on trying to become better at is being consistent. So, yeah. Chef, next time CP does this, I want to tell you about my uncle who was killed in World War II. His Markship's National Award. I would like to hear more about Dad's Markship. Yeah, that's really cool, man. I like that stuff. That'd be cool to share some stories about that. Definitely 100% egos. Yes, there is. Always appreciate your honesty and make days brighter with your wonderful attitude and happy, energetic personality. Man, I just try, man. I just try. That's all I'm trying to do. So I'm astonished. We had 25 people in the chat. My first, or like one of my third live streams ever, but really cool to see all the people in here. And really hope that you guys enjoyed it. Just a little Monday night. Hope you have a good work week. And get out there on the range, man. Do some plinking. I don't know what I'm going to do for a closing on this yet, but I think that's get out in the range and do some plinking. Everybody, that's all there is to it. Hey, everybody have a great night. Remember, get out in the range and do some plinking. So appreciate you guys. Remember, like, comment, share, subscribe. Ring that bell if you want to see more of me. America. Good night. Take care, everybody.